Alright, well, welcome back to the channel. So as you have no doubt gathered from the title of this video, I've only just started collecting Pokemon in the last month, and what I wanted to do was just sort of share my journey and share the things that I've learned actually. So, and a couple of sort of very important points, and whether this is sort of if you're new or if you are coming back possibly, if you don't know a lot about trading cards. Now the number one thing, and this is for me quite relevant personally, is I was actually unaware of just how expensive it is. I am used to collecting cards back in the sort of early to mid 90s when I started, and nowadays these things are really damn expensive, really expensive. So for example, I've got a few of the different sort of types of the new series that's just come out at the moment, which is called Mega Evolution. Now I remember when I first started collecting cards, these were, packs of cards were around about, I don't know, $3 each. And you can still sometimes see some cards at service stations and whatnot that are $3 each. But these cards now are actually a really big business. And there are a lot of people who invest, let's say, they're actually just sort of scalping really, who invest in these. But the big thing is to know that it's not necessarily cheap. So for example here, just a single packet of cards, which has just got, this here's just one pack of cards, which I think is 10 cards in it. These are $8.95 just for the one pack of cards. Then the next level you sort of go up to now is a booster bundle, and this is of course whether you can actually get these, and this is where the sort of business part of it comes in. What a lot of people do is go around to all of the different shops that are actually selling these, buy them out, and then sell them as sealed product later on Facebook Marketplace or on eBay or something like that. So these, I got my hands on a couple of them for $50 each, and that includes 6 packs as you'll see here. So that's probably, in terms of value, the best one. The next size up is called the Elite Trainer Box, and you'll see on the back here, this actually has 9 packs of cards in it. It's also got a promotion card in it, which has a little bit of value as well. There's also a guide, which has a list of all of the different cards that are actually available in the set. And it's also got dice and a coin flip die and a plastic coin and a bit of a collector's box that you can hold everything in as well. Now this is sort of intended for people who want to actually play the trading card game. And you also get a code card for the live game as well. Now a code card comes in each of the packs of these as well, so you can actually log on and get some virtual goodies there as well. And one of these, as it is, with 9 packs, is $100. So that's quite an outlay as well. It's quite expensive. And then the next size up from this in the Mega Evolution is the booster bundles that you'll see here. Now this actually contains 36 packs of cards in it. Now in terms of sealed product, this is what a lot of people who invest or are just, buying up these just to make money out of them, that's what they'll sort of put money into, because these with 36 packs in them are around about $360, so you don't sort of really get a lot of value for the volume. However, this is what goes for a much higher price at a later date, as does the Elite Trainer box at a later date as well. And these also contain one of those promotional cards, the same as the Elite Trainer box here does as well. So they both have sort of some added benefits, but this is what people who invest in the game or in the cards themselves, that's what they actually are looking for. Now the next thing that I would sort of mention in terms of this as well is work out what you actually want to be collecting for. Now if you want to actually just sort of collect cards and sort of play the game and all the rest of it, just, you know, be aware of that. And if you want to get sort of, you know, separate cards or whatever from, you know, you can get a lot of those from Facebook Marketplace and whatnot as well. There's actually quite a few good deals that are available on, you know, your marketplaces and eBay and whatnot for sort of loose cards and whatnot. That is if you're not trying to collect the entire pack or the entire series. And so that's if you're sort of looking to, you know, just collect the single cards. But what will happen is you'll see these cards here all just sort of plain, and they're sort of, you know, around about 10 to 20 cents each or something in terms of value. But then you'll get your other cards like these ones here. And these are ones that I got from an extremely good deal from somebody who really did not know what they had on Facebook Marketplace a few weeks ago. And I got these rare hologram cards here. You can do a thing called grading, which means you send them away to a grading company and they sort of work out how good a condition they're in and they give them a grading. And as you'll see on screen here, you get different values for the different grading that you receive, and that sort of relates to the different condition that they're in. Really, that's the sort of, you know, what it actually means. So I was lucky enough myself the other week to get, so I had the Charizard, the Mega Charizard, the Mega Gardevoir, and I also got all of these here, plus about another dozen that I've already sold on eBay. So these are probably mostly around about, I don't know, $2 to $20 each for all these ones. So I was incredibly lucky to grab all these for $200 when I got them. And the person who was selling them just sort of wanted them out of the house. They were just sick of them taking up space. So I was quite happy to take them off their hands. And as I said, at the time I was, you know, really unaware of what collecting was all about and, you know, what the cards are and what they look like and what they should look like and all the rest of it. And that brings us on to my next point, which is, because it's such a big money pastime, you really need to be aware that people will be inadvertently at times or overtly trying to sell you cards that are not actually the real cards. And the way that you can tell this, and I'll give a little bit of a demonstration here. And the easiest way quite possibly to tell this is you can sort of look at the back and you can tell that the colours are sort of very off on a lot of these. You know, they're sort of very light colours or very dark colours. And the other thing you can do is sort of shine a light through, as you'll see here. And because I can see the text on the back there, I know that that's not a correct card. So I know that that's a fake card. And the same with this one here. you can see the actual sort of Pokemon logo shining through. And if you compare it with one of the real cards that I just had there a moment ago, you can see no light at all gets through. What happens is that on the fake cards, you'll see just here, what there actually is a dark layer, which is sort of an inked layer in the middle of these, which stops the light getting through. But on these fake ones, you'll see they're just sort of a straight up cardboard, or they're just a straight up sticker like that there. And what that does is, because you don't have that ink layer that's in the middle, and I won't rip a regular card to show you, but because that layer is not in the middle there, that's what stops the light from getting through that ink that's there. So bear in mind that, you know, if you're ever getting cards from someone, especially off like a marketplace or whatnot, make sure you check them out and make sure that you you know, just do that really easy test and just shine the light through them and make sure that they're the real thing. And a lot of what also happens with these sorts of boxes and whatnot, you'll see here that these have a plastic wrapping on them, and you can see that it's a tight wrapping and it's a pretty good plastic that's around them. And on the more expensive boxes here, they've got a Pokemon that's printed on the wrapping itself, so that gives you an idea that that's the genuine article, and you won't have any possibility of getting confused or, you know, ripped off by anybody trying to give you the wrong thing. So that's my sort of top few things just in terms of what I've learned. The other thing as well is what I did when I first started collecting was I went and grabbed a whole lot, and that was my very first interaction. I went and made sure that I got a whole lot of these sort of regular playing cards just from somebody on Facebook Marketplace who I knew was like a genuine person. It was a dad who was selling the cards for his son, and his son was there as well. And he said that, you know, he'd been collecting for a little while, but he just wasn't interested anymore and whatnot. So I knew that these were legitimate ones, and I didn't even know how to check for the fake ones at the time. But what I did was I made sure I got a hold of these ones here, and these are from all different, and I ended up with about 30 different sets as well. Separate cards from about 30 different sets. And the reason I did that, and I just grabbed 50, like 50 bucks it was, and the reason I did that was just to sort of grab a whole lot of different cards from different sets so that I can sort of have a look and go, all right, well, you know what, if I was going to collect a set, I'm going to collect this particular set because I really like the artworks that are in the plain cards, or the, you know, the cards that sort of generally appear within that sort of set. So that's why I sort of grabbed, you know, the style, I guess is what I'd say. So that was why I ended up sort of grabbing that one as my first sort of lot. So I'd probably recommend also doing that as well if you can, just to sort of, you know, get a general, it might actually sort of help you out with, you know, working out if you do actually want to collect, because you can collect entire sets as well if you really feel like it. And a lot of people do that, but you may sort of start off not knowing what you actually want to do and whether you actually want to be a collector who collects entire sets or not. And I'm still a little bit unsure myself, so what I've done is I've grabbed this box product, and I'll keep a hold of it, and I'll see how it sort of goes up or down in value and whatnot. And if I can, eventually years down the track, make some money on it, I probably will, because that's what I've done with a lot of my other cards. And I've just got a load of other AFL cards and whatnot as well, which are in my collection that I've just sort of got for, you know, sentimental purposes mainly, but I do have sort of extras and doubles and whatnot that I put up for sale every now and again, just to sort of, you know, fun getting more cards and more boxes and whatnot. So yeah, that's about it really. All I wanted to do was just sort of give you a bit of an insight on the lessons that I've learnt along the way so far, and hopefully it provides you with a little bit of information to get a start yourself if you've just started collecting. Alright, well once again, thanks very much for watching, I really do appreciate that, and we'll see you next time.